Welcome back. Today I'm inside because outside, despite of the cast of Bambi being on my property, it's pretty stormy and rainy today, so I decided to make a less camera related video, but a more lens or film or old gear related video. And today we use some different technique. I got a microphone here, it's a Shure microphone connected to the Focusrite Scarlett, and I'm recording my audio separately. This is something I normally do not like that much, but I wanted to try out if this microphone, produces even better audio than the Rode Wireless Me. I really like the Me, and I got a Zoom, no, it's not a Zoom, is it a Zoom? It is a Zoom recorder to record audio externally when being far away from the camera. That was before I bought the Rode Wireless Me, and I still do not like it very much. I like convenient stuff, at least regarding recording audio and video. Nonetheless, today we are here on the Sony A6700 with a Sigma 60mm f1.4. It's kind of a, very convenient combo. It's not very beautiful, the look is not that good. I think, of course, it has no 3D pop whatsoever. It's a 60mm lens with about, I think, 15 elements. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. But it is not all about the elements, and we will see in some pictures that I picked out of my fundus of medium format images today. And all these pictures that I will show you now, at least almost all of them, they were taken with the Mamiya RB67 and the Mamiya 645 on film, of course, with a Seiko lens. It was the Seiko 90mm on the Mamiya RB67, and I cannot really remember which lens it was on the 645. I do not remember, actually. Too bad I do not remember. Well, it was the kit lens, so I think we could look it up, or you could, if you're interested in that. But what I want to show you is that we got some different outputs, some different outcomes with these images than we have today. And of course you already know that. Long story short, let's dive into some pictures and see what we will get. Alright, so I will not start chronologically, because these pictures, they are all thrown together and I have no clue where to start, but I want to keep track so that I can later edit the video. So the first picture here is a picture of my dog when he was young. This is my dog Ludwig, and this was maybe 3 days after I got him, I think. Yes, it was in 2020. He was a whelp then, about 10 weeks old maybe, and we got a small garden in the city where I back then lived. And what you can see here, this is a medium format image. You can see that because of the light and the light condition here, it lacks 3D pop. You can see that there is a little bit of depth where you normally scrape your shoes off. I don't know what the name is in English, but there you can see a little bit. And if you go to the chair, there you might have the slightest idea of some 3D pop, but other than that there is none. And this is the Mamiya 645. Well, you see, it is about the light conditions. On the next picture you can see my mother with my dog Ludwig, and on this picture you can see more 3D pop, right? You can see it. I'm not even sure anymore if it is 3D pop or just a medium format look. I made a video about this a while ago. Depth and rendition of the film camera and the film and the lens produces an image. I always described it as if the slide, the negative slide, would be wrapped around the subject so that you get a, almost 3D impression. I called it that long before people started to talk about 3D pop. I always described it as the medium format look. Well, and on this picture you can see it. If you look behind my mother where these poles are, there you can see, of course you can see that there is a distance between her, my dog, and these poles. And you have an idea, you have a clue that this might be about 10 meters or more, right? Next picture. This is from the, well, center of the city, of the town where I live now. It should be 2021, and also the Mamiya. No, this is 2020, yes, and also the Mamiya 645. You see, this picture has a medium format look. Even if you look at the lantern, it is almost wrapped around. And you see, well, an icon of Luther, because it's the town Luther was born and died. It's a fantastic medium format image, I think. The next picture, this was taken with the Mamiya RB67 in 2017. You can see, when looking at the lanterns, you can see the distance between these lanterns. This is a very nice rendition and is not dim enough to erase this effect, right? And this picture, it has so much in it. It has so much color. It has so much dynamic in it. I think it was Portra 400 that I used back then. I think it's a pretty nice picture to show this effect. Look at the lanterns. And on the next picture we got some ducks. And even here, you can see, even though it is not exactly sharp, but you can see that there is a distance between these ducks. It does not seem flat. It seems true to life, or at least lively. It's not sterile flat. The next picture, this was my shopper back in 2016. I bought it 2013, and one of my former girlfriends, I had to hide the face because I do not know if she would want to be in a video or not, so I hid the face. But what you can see here is the center of focus is of course my shopper, but the image looks like very roomy, plasticky. I don't know, not plasticky in a bad way. It's like, yeah, it looks dimensional, right? And this is due to the lens, film and camera combination, RB67. It's a pretty nice picture to show that, because everything around is not in focus. I choose the aperture to do exactly that. Only the shopper and my former girlfriend should be in focus, and there is the impression of it sticking out, but not due to the aperture. On the picture with a building machine, I don't know the name in English, but here you can see that this has a 3D effect, right? You can see that the slide is almost wrapped around this, even though the aperture was kind of closed. You can see that the house on the other side of the street is also in focus. I really loved this effect. The next picture, yeah, it's yours truly again. This is RB67, and the dynamic of this picture is, I don't know, I really love the dynamics. You can see the eye color, skin tones. It's Portra 160. I really like how the head, it stands out, but not because of the aperture. It is all due to the film and camera lens combination. This is what true medium format look is. And the same applies to the next picture. You can see the dynamic in skin tones, hair, my shirt, hand. This is medium format look. It is creamy, but not, you see, there's no grain, or almost no grain. It is because of the film, right? The film that I choose. There are some pictures with more grain, like that one. The next one, that was, I believe it was Neopan. It was Neopan film on the RB67, and this, you can see the film grain, and you can see how the black and white, the contrast is not that good, right? It's not that good. The contrast is light. And this is why this looks so good. This is why you get so much on this picture. The next one is a tree at a lake from the city where I lived. And this looks very, very 3D. Even though it's just a tree, right? But you can see that the tree is round. And with modern lenses and cameras, there would be no such thing. At least I do not see it in modern lenses. You can not see it, maybe you can feel it. You can feel that the tree is round, and this is due to micro contrast. And even though the Sekor 90mm is not that much of a good lens, but still, in addition to the large slide 6 × 7 centimeters of the RB67, you get this effect. But, and this is why I always struggle in the videos when I'm been talking about 3D pop or medium format look. When I say medium format like look, what I mean is an image that almost gets it like a medium format camera, even though it is APS-C or full frame just. True medium format is that. And modern medium format cameras do not get this look right. I think the GFX, well, it has 3D pop when you get the right lens on, like, I don't know, old manual lenses maybe. I've seen Camera Conspiracies do a video about this with a Canon L lens 85 1.2, I believe. Yes, it has 3D pop, and it, in my opinion, also had 3D pop with the Metacon that he used. But it is not medium format look, and I don't know about you, but for me personally, this goes hand in hand. The medium format like look, for me, is what 3D pop is. And when I try to achieve this look with a lens on APS-C like the Fuji 23 or Fuji 35, I always use the phrase medium format like look because it feels kinda the same. This picture, maybe you have seen it already in one of my videos, this picture describes medium format look for me almost the best. I'm standing out of this image not because of the aperture. It's a mixture of being backlit, right? Then you got your old film camera, your old lens, and a very large slide. This is what we will get when using this. So, and this is medium format look, not medium format like look. This is medium format look, period. And this look is what I want to achieve with APS-C and full frame. People argue and say there is no such thing as 3D pop. There is no such thing as a medium format look. APS-C, full frame, there is no difference. Medium format, APS-C, Micro Four Thirds, there's no difference. Picture is a picture, and so on. But they are wrong. Look at this picture. You cannot achieve this look. You cannot achieve this look even with a Fuji 35 or with a Nikon 50 1.4D. You cannot achieve this look with a Nikkor 40mm. You can't. Fuji 23, it is not about the focal length. It is about the size of the sensor. And of course you can get 3D pop with even Micro Four Thirds, but you cannot achieve this look, I believe. You can get close to it, but you cannot achieve this look. Of course you can achieve my look. Buying a cheap coat, cheap scarf and a cheap beanie hat. Then you have my look, but the look of the image you cannot achieve with a small sensor. There's so much in it, and it is maybe due to the depth of field. Maybe it is. It's more shallow, but even if you close it down, and if I used old cameras like the old Balda or Agfa cameras from 1924, and they got it. They got this effect too, and the slide was even bigger. It was played. On the Balda it was slide, but on the Agfa it was played. And you cannot achieve this effect. I never achieved the look like this. Let's go on. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I had to, it's one of my ex-girlfriends, I had to hide her face again because I do not want to present her without her consent. But look at that. You see how it is wrapped around her. It is wrapped around. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. And the dynamic, yes, but it's not about the dynamic. Just look at the slide being wrapped around it, being wrapped around her on this picture. And this is something you cannot get with an APS-C camera, in my opinion. I will try to find out using glass for the Panasonic that I bought with the excellent autofocus. I will try to achieve this look. But so far, Fuji 23, Fuji 35, Nikon 40mm, they get close. The Helios gets close, but it's not quite the same. Look at this picture. Look at this black and white picture from New Year's Eve. And while we're at it, can you guess the city? Can you guess the town? Maybe there are some German viewers. Maybe they know where this is. Alright, this was New Year's Eve. It was Neopan. So it was kind of difficult to shoot it because it was a 150. It was a 50 ISO film. But even here you can see there's depth to it, right? Even at night, if you shoot black and white. That was a rhyme without any slime. So, next picture. This is a similar, almost similar picture to the one you've seen before. The same cheap coat, the same cheap scarf, the same cheap hat. But what you can see here, that's in the quarter of town where I lived, right in front of the police station. What you can see here is, again, it is wrapped around me, and you have such a beautiful dynamic and such a beautiful micro contrasty look, so that you can almost know, that there is space between me and this pole or the street in the background. You see, you feel it, right? This is medium format look. The closer you get, the less obvious it will become. Look at this. This is me, and who remembers this yellow fella? It was about, I think, 2016, late 2016. Mamiya RB67. The medium format look is not obvious. Of course it might be, because I did not take this picture myself and I'm not in focus. But as you can see, the medium format look is less obvious than on the picture before. Or here, this was one of my models from a photo shoot I did in 2017. You can see it is more 3D because there is different lighting. And you can see that she is alive, that she is a human, right? You can see due to the micro contrast, even though I used the flash. And it synced very well with the RB67, but you can see it has a 3D feel to it, but it's not that obvious. On the next picture, it is more obvious, right? Lighting was pretty soft. Then you got your background. It had to be out of focus, of course, so I choose the aperture accordingly. And you can see, but there is not much of a medium format like look. If you remember the picture that I presented you with my cheap coat, there it was very obvious. Here it's not that obvious because the light is soft. You have no real contrast, so it cannot produce this effect as much as before. This is just for fun. This is the drone that I used back then in 2017. It's a Phantom 3 Advanced, I believe. Later I got the Phantom 4. And this was taken, this photo, with the RB67. There is no 3D pop. Well, a little bit, but you see that it gets less obvious. On the next picture you see a horse. This was in 2020 when I got my, well, what was it? My property in the Harz Mountains in Germany. There are some sheds, not sheds, but there are some small cabins. And I rented them out via Airbnb. And there were horses, and it was in the middle of nowhere in the Harz Mountains. And you can see it has a 3D effect. It was the Mamiya 645 with an old Ektar. Yes, and as you can see, it's not that obvious, even though it is medium format, but it is a smaller medium format. It's 6 × 4.5 centimeters instead of 6 × 7. The next picture might not be the best litten picture you have ever seen, but on this picture you can see the effect, the medium format effect or 3D effect, pretty good. A fireplace on my terrace, yes, and you can see when you look to the left pole, you can see that there is distance, and you can feel the distance to the light in the back, right? You can feel it. This is due to the contrast, to the micro contrast. Another example. is this next picture. You can see with my two friends here that there is a space between them and the wall. It does not look flat at all, and for me at least, it does not feel flat at all. There is no flatness to this, and this is of course not due to the aperture. As you can see, my friend on the right is in focus, and so is the background of my friend on the left. So this is kinda, well, it's not a linear focus field. That's the old lens. On the next picture, you see my old car back in 2016, and you see one of my ex-girlfriends here. Here you can see the micro contrast even better, I think. You can see that this, between her legs and the grass, there is space. You can see that my car, it has a three-dimensional feel to it, a dimensional feel. This picture looks dimensional. And this is what it's all about. This is the medium format look that I always talk about. On the next picture, that's me and my dog Ludwig when he was, well, a young dog. And there's not much 3D pop, right? But still, there is the medium format look to it. It's Mamiya 645. You can see it with the bell in the background and with my backpack. The next picture, this is well, a small portion of my garden back in the city where I lived. This picture has a pretty good amount of medium format look, and it has a good amount of 3D pop as well. See, sometimes you've got 3D pop and no medium format look, and sometimes you get medium format look but no 3D pop. So it is about the medium format look. This picture here, well, you can feel it, you can feel the depth, you can feel the dimensions of this picture, you can feel and see that how far away something is. And that, well, there is a rusty thing over there, but you can feel how far the tree is away and how far this way back to this door or whatever it might be. It goes for about 15 meters, and you can feel that. And this is what is important about the medium format look. And of course, I got two pictures that are a little bit off topic, but I've got a picture here from me 20 years ago, taken with it was a Voigtlander compact camera film, some cheap film, I don't know what it was, but it was a Voigtlander compact film. Well, back then I didn't even know Voigtlander was a thing, you know. I didn't even know that it was something good because I got a Samsung camera with film, a compact camera, and my friend got a Voigtlander, and he took this picture of me in 2000 and, well, it's 2005, I believe. Yes, I remember that on this day, my back then girlfriend left me. Yes. It was a good day. It was a good day. So, and the last picture I got for you, this is an authentic Polaroid. In 2016 I found my old Polaroid camera. It was from 1998, 1999. And I bought a pack of Polaroids for this. Back then, it was so expensive. It was about, I believe, 30 euros for a pack of Polaroids, 10 pieces. It was so expensive. But it was fun using it. And this was from the shoot where I got a shooting with my, who is this yellow guy? Maybe you remember. And so this Polaroid was taken. Flash was always needed, and it was an experience to shoot Polaroid. It's very sad that these times are gone. It is very sad that nowadays developing film, buying film, using film cameras, it's very sad that it is a luxurious good. When I was younger, it was so cheap. You got a cheap film, 36 images for about €1.50, and you could develop it 2 days even, and your pictures would be back for about €2 or something. And medium format, when I started medium format film, it was relatively cheap, right? It was about 253 euros for a 120 film of Portra. And now it's about 15 euros, or it's a 5-pack for 70 euros. It's just simply not worth it anymore. This is why I sold my old gear. I sold my Mamiya RB67 to someone that still uses film. I sold my Mamiya 645 so that it can be still used, because I did not use it anymore. And I wanted it to get used. This is why I sold it. Well, I kind of regret it, but not really, because I would not shoot film anymore. I loved film, and maybe you love film too. I loved film. It's too bad that everything that is fun, it is taken from us, right? Everything fun they will take from us, so that we have no fun at all. Nothing is on paper anymore. You get no prints, you get no slides, you just get digital stuff, you just get numbers. That's it. That's not the same. And maybe you're a bit older like I am. Not old, but older than the younger generation that grew up with digital cameras. You and I, maybe, we grew up with film cameras. And we learned photography using film cameras, using a winder, using manual focus, of course, lenses. At least I grew up like that. I grew up shooting video on VHS tapes or VHS-C tapes or later mini DV tapes, high 8, and all sorts of things. And for me, it felt better. It felt better than today, where you can take 2,000 pictures a day, then you just delete 1,999 and you keep one. Oh, and keep one. Well, it gets me nostalgic. This is why I still used film in 2020. And then, that's it. Sad. So, this was to give you an impression of how film looked, of how some old pictures looked. This was all medium format. And maybe I will make a video about 35mm slides too. I got so many slides. And maybe I will look them through and show you some examples of different cameras and how the slides from different developers like Edgar, like Ekta, Portra. What did I have? Neopan, maybe. Yes. And maybe I'll show you something if you want to. Well, that's it for this video. It's kind of long. It's about, now it's about 35 minutes. No one will watch a video 35 minutes, but there are a lot of slides that should give you a good impression of what medium format looks like, in film at least. So that's it for the video. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, and one love. See you in the next one.